awesome projects to show you guys too. And for the first time in a long time, I'm actually in our offices, which is also really nice. So yeah, I'm actually going to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of information about the school. For those of you joining us who don't know a little bit about 4Geeks, I'll also be going over that. But yeah, welcome everyone. And like I said, if you guys want to introduce yourselves via the chat, you're more than welcome to. Can everyone see my screen okay? Everyone see my screen okay? Perfect. Awesome. So
yeah, we can see.
Perfect. Like I said, welcome everyone to tonight's Geek Talk. Tonight, like I said, we're going to be having a lot of our students, our part-time cohort 15 is actually going to be graduating. And I wanted to, like I said, go over a little bit about who we are as a school and what we do here at 4Geeks Academy. One of the first things I want to introduce you to, though, is Rigoberto, who's actually our mascot. We use him everywhere. You see him on my shirt. You also see him in all of our academy stuff. The first program that was launched here at 4Geeks was in 2016 at the Miami-Dade College. It's still an ongoing program that we offer today. We have 6 campuses and 10 ongoing coding programs. And 4Geeks is licensed by the Florida Department of Education. 90% of total workforces in the field actually need digital skills, and coding has become the #1 skill needed. 55K is average for people who have graduated from the coding bootcamp. The lowest I've seen has been around 43K for people. 25K open positions, and that's grown a lot since coronavirus started. I'll tell you what, there's a ton of people hiring out there. So for those of you who are interested in getting a new career, this is it. 500,000, actually this is old information, I need to update that. It's actually up to 700,000 open positions right now in the US, and 8 out of 25 companies or skills are actually related to coding in the field right now. Facts behind us as an academy: we have a 22% wage increase after attending our school. We have over 700 plus graduates. We have an 89% placement ratio, and we also offer various financial options, including ISA. These are some of the partners that we have here at the academy as well. Some of them, as you can see, are actually people that we work with are like the Miami Beacon Council, Benjamin Douglas, 8Bays, Blockchain, actually should be changed to the Blockchain Center now. Start Hub, Reef, just to name a few. Those are the companies that we've worked with and have had students been working for them as well. And tonight's roster is really awesome. We also have a couple of guest speakers tonight. Like I had mentioned before, we're going to be doing a Q&A panel about, you know, their experience as coders in the field, as well as what it's like now with all the changes with coronavirus and everything. So it's just for you guys to kind of get, you know, an idea of what it is to be, what it's like to be a coder, what's out there, and what are the possibilities of actually landing a job and everything. So tonight we actually have Yvette Dominguez. I believe Yvette's here. Yeah, she's right there. Sorry, I also can't see everyone. It like blocks me off, but Yvette's here tonight. She's actually the Assistant Center Director at Code Ninjas. We have Luis Bachata, who I can see too, who is a computer scientist. He worked at Tesla and Amazon Robotics. And then we have the famous Christopher Hall, who right now is a 4Geeks teaching assistant actually. So we'll just jump right into the Q&A panel, but I'll go ahead and give them a chance to also introduce themselves. I'll go ahead and start with Yvette. I think your microphone's muted.
Me?
No, I was saying to Yvette if she wanted to introduce herself. Can you hear? I was just saying, I think your microphone's muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Oh,
It's all good.
You unmute. There we go. Okay. There we go. Hi, everybody. My name is Yvette Dominguez. I I'm a 4Geeks student, a former 4Geek student. I graduated back in January. And I'm currently working as an assistant center director at Code Ninjas. It's a school where we teach code to children. So it's an amazing, great experience. And most of the skills that I learned from 4Geeks, I'm using them and adapting them and building new projects here as well. So very exciting.
And we'll move over to Luis.
Hi, first of all, thank you so much for this invitation. My name is Luis Jose Bechara Romero. I was born and raised in Venezuela, then came to the US in 2015 to study computer science. Always been passionate about video games. That's how I got into computer science. And then I fell in love with computer science in general. Since then, computer science has helped me not only to find amazing jobs, but in many areas of my life, including being the perfect analogy to learn anything and many other stuff. I worked for 4 months for Tesla and then 6 months for Amazon Robotics while I'm studying at Northeastern University. I am to graduate in 2021 on May. But yeah, I had the opportunity to try a little bit about the field as a software engineer, and I'm here to share the experience with you as well as my belief regarding computer science. So thank you so much for the invitation, and I look forward for the panel.
You're very
and to see
welcome.
your projects.
Of course. And we'll go on to Chris.
Hey guys, how are you? My name's Chris. I've always found coding interesting, but it was the math that intimidated me. But then upon further research, I learned that there were other ways to become a web developer and that it wasn't necessary to go the typical computer science degree route because that was the math and stuff like that. And I really didn't enjoy it. So when I came across 4Geeks, it was the one that stood out to me because I was like checking for other institutions that were teaching coding. And then I met with Marcelo, had an interview with him, and then he was really cool and everything. And then I did the whole cohort and I learned a lot of coding, and it was a very interesting process, a lot of work, but it was really worth it. And I finished my cohort back in 2019, and I've been working for them as a TA ever since, and it's been a very interesting and good experience.
Awesome. I love to hear that. And before we get started, I actually think Marcelo also wanted to say a couple of words. Marcelo, are you there? I saw him there, but
yeah. Can you all? Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
yeah.
I didn't know if I was having the time to speak out loud. I was making jokes from about well, many things, but well, just a few words actually. I was saying to the cohort that is graduating today that I actually can't believe that you are all graduating so fast. It's I remember the first time that I spoke to each one of you the first time, and it was we were all having concerns whether we were having the classes remote or in person, or if we were switching in the middle, and how is the transition. And then Miami got like super, like it was a huge madness with COVID, and the impact was tremendous. And of course we all decided to stay remote. So this is a new cohort of remote classes graduating from 4Geeks. If you have to learn to code and you think that it's hard, then learning to code remotely during COVID and everything that is happening at the same time, it's super hard. I normally say that I'm super proud, and of course we're all proud of you. But it's even more than that. You know, you are achieving a super goal, and I think you're entering into an industry that is willing to reinvent many things, to position and to pretty much we as a society we need to come up with solutions and new way of working of many things. And we all have to do that through technology, using it, building things with technology. So you're entering a huge market, and hopefully, for all of those who are willing to change careers, we're going to help you out finding a new job. And I also wanted to say thanks to some other partners here. We have Pablo Maida as well. I also see some alumni from 1 or 2 years ago. Super happy to see that the community is here. Well, and that's it. Congratulations and good luck, guys.
Thank you, Marcelo. Okay, so now we're actually going to go ahead and move on to our Q&A. I'm actually going to exit out of screen share so we can see everyone real quick. Give me 1 second. There we go. Okay. So, like I had told you guys before, we're just going to be going over some of the aspects in the industry that I think it would be great to share. That's exactly what Yvette, Chris, and Luis are going to be doing for us this evening, or Jose are going to be doing for us this evening, sorry. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, please save them for the end. We'll definitely be going over those. But yeah, I'll just go ahead and start. So for actually this question, because it's going to be a variety since we have a computer scientist and we do have coders here. So this question kind of goes more towards Yvette and Chris, especially since your guys' time at the academy and everything. What are some tips that you guys can give to individuals who are entering a coding bootcamp for the first time? And I'll actually start with you, Yvette, if that's okay.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Definitely, what are some advice that I would give someone entering the field? I would say, make sure that you are giving it your all. It's a lot of knowledge that we're learning, especially entering, a boot camp like for Geeks.
Yeah.
Anybody here?
Hello? Oh, yeah, it was so odd.
Yeah, I think it was her, not us.
Sorry about that. Yeah, no, I think something odd happened. So here, Yvette. I'll give her a couple of minutes to rejoin us. For the meantime, I'll actually go ahead and let Chris answer. Is that okay? Apologize for that technical difficulty.
Did I go mute?
Yeah, no problem. We were wondering what happened. It's okay. I was just gonna say Chris to let him go, but I'll let you answer.
Okay. I just basically what I said in a nutshell. Just make sure that you are aware of the journey ahead. It's a lot of work. It's very intense. You want to make sure that you do your research and not leave just.
I think she's having difficulties, it looks like. Well, go ahead, Chris. Until she comes back, I'll let you answer, okay?
All right. Well, my advice to anyone that's entering the field to become a web developer would be make sure that it's something you're willing to put a lot of time in. It's not like you simply go to a coding boot camp and you know everything. No, it's a continuous process. You have to keep practicing. You have to keep working on projects and keep working on your data structures and algorithms. Me, for example, like during this whole pandemic, I've been doing my online courses. I've been keeping my brain active and just keeping like the learning going on, because too much time away from it is not something that I'd advise. It's something that you need to be practicing on a regular basis outside of actually attending the coding bootcamp. So you need to keep in mind that it's something you need to give a lot of effort towards, and it's not as simple as just showing up to class and doing the assignments in class. It's something that you need to take home with you and of like practicing the projects and data structures and algorithms and things like that.
I just realized I was muted. Oh, Yvette's back. Okay. Yvette, I'll go ahead and let you finish your answer. Sorry about that.
I don't know what keeps going on. I'll give it another try. Same question?
Yeah, same question.
I would, as Chris mentioned, it's a lot of work. You want to make sure that you dedicate and you have the time to dedicate to learning all the languages that are being taught. You have to go in with an open mind in doing so as well. I didn't have any experience prior to 4Geeks. It was difficult at times, but the support system that 4Geeks has allowed me and assisted me in being able to overcome any struggles. So definitely just keep an open mind, make sure you do your research, yeah, and keep learning every day.
Awesome. I love those answers. And I'll actually also give one for Jose right now. How important do you think, or how important would you find coding to be in computer science? How often have you used it, or how often have you told other individuals that it's just as important in the field, would you say?
So here's the thing, it definitely depends what you want to do. For me, computer science comes down to either you want to be a software engineer, or you want to be a data scientist, or you want to structure databases, or you simply want to work with networking and cybersecurity. As I see, computer science kind of you touch a little bit of everything. Now, coding is very, 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 very important, not only for us programmers who want to work on software engineering, whether that's mobile apps or web apps or whatever that means. I strongly believe that it's also as well a multi-vocational tool that is becoming now, not only for us programmers to program apps or games or whatever it is, but also, I mean, everybody on the field that I just mentioned, data scientists, database managers, and as well the other what will be cybersecurity has to learn how to code. Now, having said that, coding I don't think is limited to only programmers. I will say, so I will say very, very, very important, because if you learn how to give instructions to a computer, you can simply do anything you can imagine, because you can take advantage of this amazing brain that the computers are, right? So yeah, even though if you want to be a software engineer or whatever, coding is, I think, something number one, and I don't think it's limited to our career. So yeah, I guess that's my answer.
Awesome. Okay, moving on. And I love how you actually kind of like emphasize on the different aspects of why it's important, unnecessarily, like the one side or everything. That's kind of what I wanted, people to hear in order to kind of convey like what is important with each pipeline in software development, because there's so much of it out there. Following question I have is for Yvette and Chris again. How has your current job helped you maintain your skills as a software developer? And I'll start with Chris this time.
Well, my job as a TA at 4Geeks, it's really helps me like learn coding in the sense that I already did my cohort, obviously, but working as a TA and running back to the basics again, I feel like it really helps the information stick a lot better. That's one thing that I really enjoy about it. And helping people code, like helping people with their coding projects, like it kind of the way like you remember it's a bit different, whereas compared to when you're just doing a project yourself, when you're helping someone learn, when you're teaching someone how to do something, I don't know, in my personal experience it helps me remember the information a bit better. So that's probably the best thing about it. That's really how it's helped improve my skills.
And for you, Yvette? I think you're muted again.
Good job. I'm working as an. Oh.
You're good. You're good.
I was, you're muting me, I think, Bridget. Yeah. I'm not gonna touch it. Okay. So yeah, my new job, I've been working as an assistant center director for Code Ninjas, which is a school that
Recording has
actually we
started.
teach kids how to code using simplified code. It's been extremely satisfying in regards to being able other people, and in my case, children. Very satisfying when they're understanding and able to interpret the skills that I learned and gained for Geeks. With that, I'm also working with building curriculum and just trying to find new interesting projects every day to keep them involved and active and wanting to learn how to code in this world that we all are a part of. So I would definitely say that all the skills we learned and adapted in 4Geeks has assisted me in new role.
No, I'm muted. And Luis Jose, I actually ask you the same thing. How have your skills, or how have you personally been able to develop your skills out in the field after learning them and maintain them throughout your job as well?
So yeah, here's the thing. I completely agree. Learning by teaching is definitely one of the best ways to understand anything. So yeah, I will say there are two main things. I had the opportunity, actually, I kind of became a life coach for a while as well. It's like my part-time job. I'm also a life coach, but I also coach a lot of programmers. Accidentally, because programmer plus life coach is nice to also coach programmers in life, but also end up coaching them in code. And as you say, one of the great things that you have the opportunity to stop overthinking, because here's the thing, I don't know, I think, at least for me, I stop overthinking and start focusing on the primary and most important stuff of what I want to communicate. So you end up understanding way better any concept. So for me, that is one part. The other part is application. And in this sense, is for me, it's like I code in full time and then I code in my free time. Different projects, of course, but coding is also a hobby. And yeah, I end up building different projects, which end up being great. If they are not polished, nice projects at the end, at least I have a referral of, okay, how did I solve this problem before? So if you keep building projects and keep building projects, try to have it on the GitHub, even if it is not the perfect thing, but it's also nice to have it there. Keep pushing, and at the end you will have this huge repository, not only of code, but also of memories of how to solve any problem. And you end up realizing that some problems are so similar that you already had the solution. So yeah, I will say those two things. By teaching people how to code, I understand way better anything than when trying to teach myself. And the second thing is application. Because as an application, always have one project. It doesn't have to be 20 hours a week, but it could be 5 hours a week, 2 hours a week, something like that. It doesn't have to be too much, but just enough so you are still trying to figure out how to solve problems that could be from, Facebook authentication to logging into a website to stuff like, I don't know, it could be, there are these little stuff that is going to save you so much time later in life if you already knew how to integrate with one API or stuff like that. So yeah, application and teaching. Those are my two answers.
Awesome. And I actually was going to say one of the things that I also tell students to do a lot of is to always go back on old projects and push them out through GitHub, because some people don't realize that doesn't help them like boost their opportunities of getting hired. So yeah, that's also something I tell people is if you're out there and you're trying to really commit to like a good project, it's always a good idea to go back on old ones and like fix them and make them even better.
Yeah.
Do you and actually I'm gonna go ahead and ask this question next. Why did you choose to get involved in the tech industry? And I'll actually start with you, Luis Jose, if that's okay.
Yeah, completely, no problem.
Perfect.
So I guess actually mine is a story. I don't know, it's very similar for many people, but in my case was as a little I love video games. It's a classic story for a lot of people actually in my class, and I love creating video games. And I started creating video games, not coding per se, but doing a lot of drag and drop programming. There are these nice softwares like Game Maker and stuff like that. Uh, and I think that's something I'm very grateful that I like because it started to help me to think as a programmer. Even I wasn't coding, I was programming. And at the it's crazy because at the end of my high school, you could choose either arts or go for sciences. I ended up choosing arts for a while. Like I decided I'm not was going into the tech industry, but in that last very moment, it was like I was wondering what I wanted to do, and then I recall back. I was told try to recall back when you were little. What did you like the most? And for me was I love creating games. So I decided to go for a computer science career because there wasn't any, at least they weren't popular enough at that moment in 2015, only game development programs. And thank God, because I realized computer science was uh, way bigger than game development. Game development is one of the little parts. We were talking about it falls inside of software development. And software development has apps, webs, and then games, and then even more. So thankfully, I end up liking computer science. So I went deeper and deeper. Then I was able to try it. Actually, there was a point where I was able to to work for Amazon and work for Tesla, and I decided that that's the industry I like. That's because I was able to go to, you know. So I will say curiosity to experience and experience to going deeper into expertise. That's how it all started. But the main thing is that I got into it. I tested the waters, and turns out I was fit for it, or at least I like it. And that will be my advice for anyone wondering whether they want to go deeper into technology. You won't know until you at least dip your toes in the water. Just go a little bit, try it, see it out. And that's why I love programs like Code Ninja, for instance, or code.org that are helping children try dip their toes in the water. Where I'm from, I was taught nothing about computer science. It was most about how to use Excel, how to use Word, and that kind of stuff. I love that today there is a bigger focus on helping people, try it a little bit. Because if you like it, this is the greatest. I wouldn't say the greatest, but I'm biased and saying it's one of the greatest paths you could take. So yeah, I guess that's my answer. I like video games that help me to try technology, and then when I try it, I like it. But I had to try it. That's the biggest answer and the most important part. Trying.
Thank you. I'll actually go to Chris with the same question next. What is something that got you involved in tech?
Well, what really got me involved in tech, I would say, is getting my first smartphone back when I was like in high school and going on YouTube to see all the latest techs, like the latest smartphones, laptops, PCs, and stuff like that. So that's where it really started for me. And the way I would see like tech reviewers go into depth about certain types of products and like the difference between Android and iOS, that whole ecosystem is what really dragged me into getting interested in tech. So, and then like I said before, when I did my research on computer science, when I saw the math, that's when I backed out. But as soon as I realized math was not a necessity, that's when I was all in because it was something like, as a kid, like always just looking at the pros and cons between different types of software, specifically with Android and iOS and Windows. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
And how about you, Yvette?
Entered for Geeks as a career change. Moving down from New York, I didn't want to go back to doing what I was. Sorry, guys. I think I'm having.
I think she's having connectivity issues. So I'll just wait for her to come back, actually. Unless I don't know if you're trying to turn off your camera, but if you want to speak, you're more than welcome to, Yvette. That might help. In the meantime, I'll just go ahead and move on for time's sake. This is honestly going to be like the second to last question. But what do you, as coders, recommend or think most coders in the field should focus on right now? Or what have you seen, or what have you developed yourself that you feel has really helped you? And I'll ask Chris this question.
What do I feel that has helped me, or what I should focus on?
Or sorry, what advice or tip would you give to another coder that you feel has helped you that they could focus on too? What other kind of skill or what kind of other program that you think has also really like boosted you as a developer?
I'd say practicing data structures and algorithms. I'd say it's something that's very important, and that's what interviewers are looking for. So if you're serious about being a web developer and pursuing that as a full-time career, that's something you definitely have to practice, and you have to like continuously do it. So yeah, that and practicing those over time has really helped me get a better grasp as to what coding is like. All the different types of data structures and algorithms, because some, like, depending on the interviewer, like, they pick different types, so you never know which one is going to be thrown your way. So you generally have to be practicing data structures and algorithms as a whole, because you don't know what they're going to be asking you, and it's a way that it's how they test your coding knowledge.
Yeah, Yvette's back. I see her. Yvette, sorry, we had to kind of move on from the question because of timing purposes. But I basically had asked what you feel or what you think people should focus on, coders should focus on in the field that's really helped you as a developer. Not 100% sure. We'll go on to Luis if that's okay. Sorry about that. I'm not 100% sure what her network situation is, but I'll go ahead and ask you until she comes back.
Right. So I will say two main things. First, you don't need often. I mean, there are two situations. If it is for execution, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. There is a lot of APIs out there for a lot of stuff that you probably can integrate with that is free. And often they focus so much in that little part that could be from neural networks to anything. They focus so much in that little part that could be just searching images on the web or stuff like that. They already have it down. So if it is for execution and you want to build a project fast, definitely try to reinvent the wheel as little as you have to, and then you can later fill the project with your own parts. But think yourself as someone that is grabbing these Lego blocks and building your own tower. And then if you want to create your own Lego blocks, then go ahead, because that's my second point. If it is for learning, try to go deeper into the Lego block. In the Lego block of actually trying to program your own script that loads images, or your own script that integrates with Facebook authentication and stuff like that. So yeah, if you're doing for execution, focus on the bigger picture and try to not reinvent the wheel. if you're focusing on learning, try to reinvent the wheel because you will learn a lot from that. And one little last advice, find a mentor. A mentor can save you so much time, and with one call, you can figure out something that you will spend probably a whole day trying to figure out. So if you have a mentor and you ask them, hey, do you know any API for this and this and this, or do you know how to use this library? They probably will take your learning curve from 24 hours to 30 seconds. So yeah, those are the three things. Don't reinvent the wheel if you want to execute. Reinvent the wheel if you want to learn, and always have a mentor. And if you can have more than one, even better. So yeah, I will say those are the best tips for that sense.
Thank you. And last question, basically. It's one I like to ask everyone because it's just, you know, to give everyone a really positive outlook as to like what it's like to work in the field and everything. And I'll start with Chris. But Chris, what is your favorite aspect of being a developer?
My favorite aspect of being a developer is just knowing that like I have a skill that's very future proof, and teaching people. You know, like I really enjoy, like as a developer, like working as a TA, like there's something very fulfilling about helping students solve something that is very complicated in their perspective. So I'd say these two things is what is most fulfilling as my role as a developer.
And Yvette, I don't know if you heard the question or not, but I asked, what is your favorite aspect about working as a software developer?
Yes, I heard the question. Is having some network issues here. My favorite part is working as a
I think she kind of lagged out again. Louise, if you want to go ahead and answer, or I don't know if okay, yeah, she definitely left. If Louise, you want to go ahead and answer.
Sure. So, okay. Here's what I will say. What I love more about being a software developer is that it really impacts all the areas of my life. First, career. You have a very secure job if you are a software developer, and as Chris mentioned, very future-proof. Second, relationships. Oh my God, I cannot tell you how many times people have just gone to me because, hey, I know you know how to make apps. I have this app idea. And then that just interaction becomes a new person in my network and sometimes even a friend. And it's crazy. I mean, it's the great and best ever conversation starter ever. The fact that you know how to do this all techie stuff. On contrary what people might think. So third, I will say intellectual as well. You get to wear many hats as a software developer because you're not only coding. Sometimes you're getting into the hat of a doctor because you're developing an application that is basically for doctors, or you get in the hat of, I don't know, marketing expert because you're building a tool that is going to help to maximize the marketing efforts of a company. Here's the thing, you get to learn a lot of stuff, and that also goes back to those conversations. You end up having to be able to talk with all kind of professions. And not only that, all those databases we design are the perfect analogy to try to break down any knowledge in life. Just imagine how the database will go and how the data will go. And that's kind of how you start. I had to once learn even how ADN works, like DNA, just because it was a project. So that's the third thing. So career is awesome for career-wise. Intellectual, you get to learn anything and you get to wear many hats. And relationship, you will be able to make so many great connections because of this career. So yeah, embrace those three things, and I'm sure you will be able to enter this industry way happier than in any other industry, because now knowing those three secrets, now you can go happy that you got into the right and the best ever tool for life, I think. So yeah, I know I'm biased, but that's truly what I think.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys for being our guest speakers. I want you guys to stick around because I know that there's going to be definitely questions at the end from our audience. Maybe some of the students might want to ask you guys something as well. So we're going to move on to our projects now. But before we do that, I think Alejandro wanted to say a couple of words, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, no, I think I may say at the end. Let's just start.
All right. All right, we'll go ahead and start then. So I just wanted to show you guys tonight's roster. We have a really great set of groups that are presenting tonight. Unfortunately, they're not in order, as you guys can see on the screen, so sorry about that. But we have Homeless Hero by Violeta Ventura and William Kramer, Lancelot by Isaac Hernandez and Lacey Arcia, Listo Care by Luis Archia and Luana Cantuarias, Transaction Tracker, Gemma Morales and Serlene Sechin, and Magic Monitor, Chris Olmos and John Rohan. And I believe Transaction Tracker is first, so I'll let you guys go ahead and start.
Let me.
You can go ahead and steal the screen.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. So here we are. I'm Gemma Morales, and I just recently completed a PhD in linguistics. So my interest in joining 4Geeks was to learn coding school so I can combine that with my background in linguistics and eventually work with natural language processing projects.
Hello, everyone. I am Serlene Sechin, and I am a scientist at University of Miami, looking to identify biomarkers to predict whether a person will develop type 1 diabetes or not. While doing that, I moved on from working with small data sets to like thousands of different variables and other things that could contribute to that. So I figured, well, that's a task for a computer. And that's why I joined 4Geeks. Yeah. So when we started this journey, like with the final project, we were given opportunity whether to present our idea of whatever app we wanted to develop, or to work on a project that was already kind of being thought about by the academy. This was a need presented by Pablo Maida, who is an accountant. And so as accountants provide bookkeeping services for several types of businesses and contractors, mostly using QuickBooks. Accountants need to keep a detailed ledger for all financial transactions, such as expenses, deposits, bills. About 10% of these transactions lack key pieces of information. Say, in your bank statement or in your firm bank statement, you see a deposit that shows $100, but you don't know who, like the accountant doesn't know who deposited that money and why was that money deposited. This is very common with PayPal. So in other words, there are a couple of key informations that key pieces of information that the accountant needs to know. For example, who deposited the money and what was the reason for that deposit. If that person or that firm made a payment, who that payment was for and what was it for. And if you are bored already, well, get out of it, because this business is all about accuracy and the IRS. As you remember, or something I like a lot, Al Capone went to jail not for killing a lot of people, but for tax evasion. So currently what Pablo and other accountants need to do is they log into QuickBooks, they go to a client account, they select the transactions that are missing key details, they copy the transactions that are missing the details into an Excel spreadsheet, they send an Excel to the client will input that information and send it back to Pablo or other accountants, and then the accountant has to manually input that back into QuickBooks. And as it's written here in red, here is basically a screenshot of a fake company that Pablo created for us so we could work with. And then here is a translation of the QuickBooks spreadsheet to an Excel spreadsheet that can be sent currently to his clients. And so what happens is that this procedure is time consuming and it's prone to errors. The solution to that is to create an app that will integrate all of this. So Pablo logs in into our app, which connects to QuickBooks. Then he selects the transactions that are missing details and sends an email to the client. The client receives that and then sends back to Pablo. Everything automatic, so the error is minimized.
Right.
So now I'm going to share my screen, and Ham will go through the app. Ham, are you seeing this?
Yeah, we're ready. So here's the login page, the landing page, which is the first screen you see when you log into the app. And you can either create a new user or log in. So there you click on create account and you fill in name, email, and a password, and then you register, and then you have an account created. After you create the account, you can go back to the login page and log in your information.
Oh.
Then
Not logging in. Oops. And the test drive didn't work.
oh no.
I don't know. And guys, you are experiencing real time what happens.
I think you are in the verse. Don't you want to go to the other one?
Yeah, I am about to go there.
It's in that one.
Okay, so yeah, so then once a user logs in, they see a list of all their clients. And as soon as you click on the client that you would like to work with, the app transaction tracker will go through QuickBooks and bring back all of the transactions from that client that are missing information in regards to the vendor name, the customer name, and what was paid, what service or goods were paid for that are missing this information. So then here, the accountant can directly send this table to their client, and then the client will receive an email telling them asking them to please provide the missing details to the transaction listed, and saying below you will find a list of transactions missing info, and to please enter the requested details, and they receive a link to this table. So then they get the same exact table and they can fill in the missing boxes. Really, no, you stuck again?
No, I am.
Okay.
It might be my computer that's giving me all kinds of issues. Again. Yeah. Sorry, guys. you are experiencing firsthand what happens when you go live. We tested, and it did work while we tested.
I think
Oh, I know. According to Alejandro, the issues are a common thing that as you progress in your career, you become better at it. And then you no longer think of it as an issue, and so you don't get frustrated. Ah, see, I wasn't running the workspace, and so
Yeah.
Go on, Han, please.
Yeah, okay, so this is when the client clicks on the link that they're sent in the email asking them to please fill in the missing information, they see this table, and then you can see where the white open boxes are. They can type in there whatever it is that is missing, and then they click on the send selected transactions on the bottom, and as soon as this happens, the accountant will get an email telling them that the specific client has responded to the missing transactions, and then in turn they get a link, and it'll show this same table to the accountant so he can see what the clients have updated. And that's it.
Slide?
Yeah, let me go back to the slide. So our conclusions are that currently the tracker can request information about a vendor name, which is the goods provider, the customer name who is paying for the goods, and GL account, which stands for exactly what was paid for. But we can continue work on this app by asking accountants what other sort of information they would like request, like a location. For example, a company can have multiple store locations. And then also QuickBooks has its own app store so that all accountants can gain access to different apps being built that connect to QuickBooks.
Oh, and don't you worry, as soon as we are done here, Alejandro and I and Han will troubleshoot again and see what's wrong. Thank you.
Good job, ladies. That was really good. A round of applause, because that was really good. And I've never seen anyone do an opening like that, so good job. Next up we have is Homeless Heroes.
All right.
You guys ready?
I guess so. Violet, are you ready to share your screen or? All right. So good evening, everyone. My name is William Cranmer, and my partner in this project was Violet Ventura. And the name of our project, of course, as you can see on the screen, is Homeless and Heroes, or Homeless Heroes. So we all, well, I have a background in IT, but it's more on the IT security side and IT networking side. So I'm getting into programming because I see it as something that's essential, even in my specialty of networking and security. Today, everybody's using it, and Violet works for a company also. She works with developers often, and she's trying to get into development and be able to work with more on the development side. So that's why we came to 4Geeks. And then when we were trying to figure out what we were going to do as far as our project, we
came up with the idea of homeless heroes because both Violet and I have fallen on hard times before, and so we've been homeless ourselves. We have family and friends that are homeless currently, so we know that it's part of society that often gets overlooked, and nobody really seems to have a good solution for it. So we developed this platform that essentially allows people to, if you interact with a homeless person, and if you want to donate to them, but perhaps you don't want to give them cash for whatever reason, either you don't have cash on you, or maybe you're concerned about what they might do with that cash because you don't know that person. Maybe you just meet them one time. But if there was a method to donate to them, would you still do it that had some kind of controls in place? And so that's what the platform is really all about, is being able to make that process easier. So Violet, can you scroll down a little bit? So you can see right here, how it works. Intro, scan, donate, and follow is essentially the culmination of the activity that we want to be able to do initially. So the easiest way to find someone, you would find their profile. You can scan a QR code or just search for their name if you know their name. And then you donate to that person. And within that process, you have the option of following that person. So if you were to donate to someone that was homeless and you wanted to keep up to date with current activities from like a social following aspect, you would be able to do so through the platform as well. The person who is homeless could provide updates periodically or have someone provide updates for them about them. And then from there, you would get a push notification via email or some other method that would allow you to see what was going on in their life, which would also allow you to go back later, maybe if you wanted to, and donate to them again, something that often we don't get to do. So I'll let Violetta take it from there and kind of go into some of the functions and features of it.
Thanks, Will. Can everyone hear me? Yeah? Okay, perfect. So because we're not able to present in person, it's going to be kind of hard to walk you through the QR code experience. The reason we chose QR code is because it's such an easy way for anyone with an iPhone to scan in order to be able to donate without having to really do any interaction, especially now with COVID. There's a lot of social distancing that we're trying to do, and a lot of people are afraid to really handle cash, or let's be honest, a lot of us don't really have cash on hand all the time. So with QR code, it's so easy, to use nowadays. So for today's walkthrough, let's say you meet a homeless person and you remember their name, you're able to go onto Homeless and Heroes, and in the search bar, we'll use today one of our homeless candidates, which was Paulo James. You'll be able to click on them, and here to give you a quick snippet, this will be the same view that you would see if you scan this person's QR code, and it kind of gives you a quick, run through on who this person is, what languages they speak, how long have they been homeless, where are they from, what shelter they're registered, because one thing that Will and I were speaking of is, how can we verify that these people really are homeless, they're not panhandling out there. So it's really key for us to work with homeless shelters, through this registration process. And then, to kind of get a backstory, on who these homeless people are. Sometimes people fall into hard times, and just bad luck. So like, for instance, here, Paulo James is actually a veteran, who fell into hard times, and if you want to donate, you're able to click donate in a simple platform. So here you'll be able, today we'll donate $5. We'll connect. Really simple. We wanted to make sure that we make the experience for the donator to be as simple as possible, because at the end of the day, they are donating their time, but as well as their money. So we're trying to make it as frictionless as possible so that they donate once and also donate again. And then here, we're able to collect the information of the person that they're donating to, sending them a thank you on behalf of the homeless person, and also allowing the donator or the hero, as we're calling them, to share the love, share the fact that they donated on a seamless platform application. But also, if they want to follow the person that they donated to, they have the option to, create a registration, create their own profile, And we have different parameters for each profile that's created. For a homeless person, we ask for different information than we would for a hero, and as we will for a nonprofit. But one of the cool things that that we've been creating, that Will and I were very, very key to, is creating a platform for a homeless person to be able to kind of get a sense of an update on what was donated to them. So this homeless person would be able to go back to this homeless shelter and see who donated to them. So here Paulo's able to see that I just donated $5 to them. But they're also able to see when was the last time they posted something, and as well as when was the last time they spent money from the donations they received. So you'll see here in the bottom with the recent transactions that they had.
And so something to keep in mind, obviously this is a very, MVP and probably not even quite MVP yet. There's still a lot of things that we have to do. As we're building out the platform, we realized there was so much that we wanted to do. But with limited time and effort, of course, we can only do so much. So in the future, we're looking to actually complete the financial aspect of it. So being able to actually take a donation and give it to a homeless person. And Violet actually works for a company who deals with financials. So it's a good person to have on this project, because we're going to actually look into being able to get cards to the homeless people, and then they can spend that money. And then some of the controls and checks we were thinking about doing was like limiting the amount you can spend in a day, those types of things. So trying to come up with that way that we can contribute, but then at the same time have some controls in place that make sure that people aren't just trying to take advantage of the platform or other people as well. So it's a work in progress, and we're hoping to expand upon it from here.
Yeah, so what Will's trying to share is that for phase 2, we're trying to work really closely on working with an issuer so that, when these homeless people are given a prepaid card, we're able to create certain restrictions where they have daily limits. They can only spend a certain amount of day. We did research that in Florida, you need a minimum of $30 a day to survive. So that would be their daily spend, and then set certain restrictions that they can only use that card at certain retail locations and to buy certain items, as well as no ATM withdrawals. So that's in phase 2, but we're really proud of the work we were able to do, and we're looking forward to phase 2 and 3 in order to help the community continue to fight this battle against homelessness, and also give everyone that opportunity to to get out of the situation that unfortunately they're in today.
That's it. Thank you everyone for the kind comments.
Yeah, you guys did a really, really great job with this. Very impressed. Good job. I'll give you another round of applause. Okay, next up we have Magic Monitor.
Hi, it's like for jump.
You're
Don't start it.
You're good.
Can we come back? Because we just had a live crash.
Are you
what's that?
guys ready? Or do you guys want to go at the end?
They don't seem that ready. John, are you there?
Okay. Well, if you want, we can go ahead and go over to Lancelot then, and we can go ahead and have them present at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we'll just go ahead and have Lancelot come on, you guys.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isaac Fernandez. I'm one of the team members of the project Lancelot, along with Lacey. And I would like you to present our idea me a second. Vale, so this is our deal. We basically did an application with the purpose of right now avoiding or mitigating the risk. Who could be more accurate, mitigating the risk for business, for small business owners, for the people who visit those small businesses, in order for them to keep all the measures needed to comply with the CDC and with the Department of Health in the United States and worldwide as well. So our application basically takes the temperature and also serves a questionnaire for the people. And based on that temperature and questionnaire, we determine whether the person might have or might not have COVID-19. We also store the information that can be which can be also provided to the health of the local authorities in case that they might need to search for those users in order to prevent them spreading the virus in case that there's a possibility that they might have it. And right now, I passed my job to my team member, Lacey.
Hi everybody, my name is Lacey. I'm a teammate of Isaac Fernandez for the Lancelot project. He was talking, we saw a problem when we got this pandemic, the COVID-19, and the problem is that everybody is going in businesses. Doesn't matter if they are with masks and they keep the social distances, but nobody knows if the person has fever or has COVID. So this is a little hope for small business. When the customers come in, we have our Raspberry Pi connected to ADAC fruit sensor that detects the temperature up to 6 feet. And I'm going to show you how our applications work. So here's our login. Second. Yes. Oh, that's funny. Ham and Celine, we're getting the same problem. So, give me 1 second. Just a second.
Give us a second. So here is the login page. She's now putting the information to sign in. Give us a second, it seems that we're having some difficulties. Okay, so sorry for the difficulties. So here, she already, once she already signed in the page, she has three options. One is for the owner, is the statistics in which he has the possibility of seeing who visited the business, if they had COVID or not, and if they need to provide that information to the local authorities. They have the information available there of all the business and who might or might not or might have a chance of having COVID-19. You also have the visitor, which is specifically for those who are visiting the store, in which they can put the information, they can put their email. If they're already registered in the site, once they click on the next option, they will go directly to take the test. If not, they will have to input the information, the first name, the last name, the address, and email, phone number. Once they already have put that, then they can select their age, and they can select if they have one of the symptoms that might make them a possible candidate or a person that has COVID-19. They select yes.
You're going to test?
The test right now.
Okay, we are going to test right now. I'm going to try to take the temperature of me. So let's see if I'm having fever. I hope no for my teammate. Okay, give me a second. Can you take this? Yes. Wait, no. So awesome.
As you see, she doesn't have fever. Her temperature is 9.4 Fahrenheit degrees.
Okay, we are gonna show now what happens. When has fever. So we're gonna show.
We're going to show what happens if, in the case, the person might have fever. This device normally runs in high temperature. So in the case that the person might have fever, we send a message indicating that they have the temperature they have, and also to take the measures needed in order to make sure that we minimize the spread of the virus in the store. Or not necessarily that person might have the virus, but he might be or she might be a possible candidate. So we want to minimize or mitigate those risks, both for the owner and for the people in the store.
So
the customers.
We have here some information to give this owner and visitor. Everything they can do or can be helpful for somebody who has the symptoms of COVID-19 or high fever. And all our tests being saved in our statistics just in case the Florida Health Department are requesting for this information, we are able to help the COVID-19 spread. So taking track of every visitor is entering in any business who use our web application. That's it.
So that's our application. Basically, as we show you, we take track of the visitors who go into the different business establishments that use our application, and that information can be provided to the local authorities with the permission of those visitors, to local authorities or to the federal authorities that are in charge of mitigating or minimizing the spread of COVID-19. Thank you very much.
Good job, guys. Okay, next up is Magic Monitor ready now? You guys good to go? Now we'll go ahead and
yeah,
go
we're ready.
to
Start,
okay,
huh?
perfect.
How's it going, guys? My name is John Rohan. My partner is Chris Olmos. Our project is the Magic Monitor. So, just to give a little bit of backstory about myself, I've been in some sort of computer development for the last 15 years or so. I've been self-taught in a number of different languages. I've been in the restaurant industry for the last 15 years, 4 of which I'm managing a restaurant in downtown Brickell. So I do have a baby on the way. So this, so I'm going to go ahead and let Chris introduce himself as well, so then we can get into our product.
Chris Olmos. I worked in a bank for 10 years as an economist and analyst, and for the last 10 years, I've been recruiting economists, and I got a book, and the business still runs itself. I'm going to take another year or 2 out. I took up this course just because I want to invent lots of things. I could program as a teenager, so I'm just struggling with the modern way of things because I used to program in BASIC. But I had this idea because I've got kids and, you know, they cry a lot. I don't know, it seemed like a good idea. John, do you want to intro the product?
All right, so Chris and I came together in March to start doing web development. One day in class, he basically said, can we make a device that would be able to listen to a baby's cries and tell us, you know, more or less why it's crying. So we then began putting together our project. What we did is we ended up incorporating a React website that has a Python API backend, has an SQL database. So what it is it connects together a website along with a Raspberry Pi that uses artificial intelligence created originally by Google that is called TensorFlow, and it uses OpenCV technology, which is open computer vision. So it allows you to look at a video and discern different objects, what it is exactly, without really having to tell it exactly what to do, more or less train to do it. So we put this together using Python and Google Collaboratory. So it was a very fun project to work with. So to get into it a little bit more, it's Chris, you want to take one at this point? Like me to keep going?
Yeah, sure. So, for example, let's share the screen. So, let my screen come up. So, to start off with, you go to your website and you have you go to your login. This is done with a JWT and with the lovely CSS. So you come in and register a baby. As you can see, you can register a baby. We need your time zone because we think it's quite useful to know doing playback of data and things, and the gender upsets on the color themes. So you register the child, and then one of the key features of the product is you have live video. And what this live video does, excuse my freaky baby, this is the doll. We use this doll because it's nice and simple to practice the facial recognition algorithm. So we've trained the machine to recognize if a face is either up or down. So if a baby rolls and is face down, it's said to be dangerous. So the idea is that when the baby goes face down, get an alert to your app. So we've done that using TensorFlow on Google Colab, and takes a frame and it analyzes the frame, and we've got accuracy of about 90%. It's quite simple, but we've simplified it. A real baby is not going to be in this situation. So in reality, we're going to have to do a real one with much larger data set. It works very well when we fix like this with a doll. We're just flipping the doll face over or not. And what that then does is every minute there is data, every 5 seconds or something, there is data being captured and sent to the database, which John has built. So we will actually add other functions. You can actually tell from a webcam what somebody's heart rate is. So we want to add some future things like heart rate, breathing, and as John mentioned at the beginning, it's different. This was audio because there is a classification set we're lucky to find. It's a cry. So every 5 seconds, it does a snapshot and sends that to the database. And John, do you want to take over and show how that works?
John, you're muted.
Sorry about that. So one of the key concerns that we had was with security. So we did a JWT authentication. We wanted to make sure that you were able to keep your data secure. So what ends up happening is that as the monitor is watching, it takes measurements of the breathing, as Chris had said, as well as the decibel level. So it's able to then different patterns out of the way that the baby's behaving, sleep patterns, breathing, bored, whether it's hungry, tired, colic, or sick. So by combining the audio and the video, you're able to have a more rounded vision of exactly what the child is doing. So you're able to add multiple babies if you like, so you can have this is some of the information that we have for first. We're able to then go to the different days and see, what information was taken on what day. So as of right now, we're recording video, but we are planning on implementing it to some sort of storage, so that way, if you want to look back and see something that happened to your child, if it was perfect, that you're able to keep it. Okay. Yeah. And that's our project.
Yes, if I just summarize, we've basically used React on JavaScript with HTML and CSS, a Raspberry Pi, a camera, and that could run the TensorFlow Google. We've actually run it temporarily on Google's Colab because it's just easier to plug the pieces together. That would be export the Google server. You just run the product. And then the data side is using SQL and Python at the back end. Effectively, you have your front end. It's also actually running technology, your camera. That's kind of how it all fits together. We're going to spend another month adding these functions because we're quite keen to make this really workable. John's baby is due in a month. So it's good. The timing will be good, and it's very usable. And the product to physically make a Pi, a camera, and a microphone is something like $75 at a retail price. together. That's it. Thank you. I think any yes.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. And last but not least is Listo Care.
How are you, everybody?
Hello, everyone.
Okay, so let me share my screen.
Yeah, if you could share, please, Luana, so I can explain.
Okay.
So, hello, everyone. My name is Luis Archila, and my partner is Luana. And we decided to build this project, which is Listo Care, to help primarily medical staff with all this going on with the coronavirus. We wanted to help them to have a better database. We decided to do it for specific regions in Latin America, like Peru, Guatemala, Mexico, Colombia, and places where it's very difficult to bring a computer or where there are no hospitals. So in those places, a lot of the doctors, they have to write everything on paper. And so it's very hard for them to keep track of their patients. So we decided to build this website so they can have it on their phone, which is something that we pretty much carry on our daily basis. So this is basically part of the landing page.
So basically, how this started, how we wanted, why did we wanted to create Listo Care? And Listo Care is an online patient management platform. That's what it is. When COVID started in March, April, and we knew that we were gonna do this final project, I had friends in Peru because I'm from Lima, Peru, and I have friends from Peru who are health practitioners, and they were going to be deployed to different cities in Lima, so they can support, those low cost hospitals that are around the city. Basically, one of the things when we were talking on Zoom, they were telling me that they didn't had that they will have to put everything on paper, and sometimes they will lose those papers, and they didn't knew how to keep that information, safe. And definitely they didn't have even sometimes the records of whatever they have filled up. And that gave me an idea of what was going on in my country. And talking with Luis, we kind of find out that that this is something we have to create something to support those cities that don't have this type of digital platforms. So what I started as a final project has now become a platform that will support health practitioners in South America. That's why we decided to make the platform in Spanish. And the pandemic of COVID-19 has showed us how important is to is the digital world, and how this has to be done in the health system. We here in America, we have it, but there's no many countries around the world that actually have it. So our vision is to improve the safety and privacy options for the community, providing health practitioners the digital tools that will help them advance the development, with the predictive, preventive, and all those details in health and medicine. Also, that is very important, this is a sustainable platform because it supports our ecosystem. There's no more paperwork, there's no more folders, there's no more having to deal with all of that. And most of health practitioners, they work for different hospitals. Usually they have their own, clinic, and then some of them will work for different other hospitals. They don't maintain their patients. each hospital might have their own software. So this is an independent patient management platform. Our goal with this is not only to make it, multi-platform, and one of our goals for us to add in this project is, first of all, we wanted to add, a dashboard, an email integration, so they will be able to send emails, if they have to, have an appointment or have to schedule it, which most of us have it here, and we have, we have this features with platforms here in the United States. Also, that they are able to upload the documents, and I wanted to add the Wikimedica too in that platform. We're providing very easy services. We're providing, they can enter to their patient or client list for any device. They can keep their medical records and patient's information safe, which is very important. And it's just right here. 93% of medical records in South America are still handwritten and archived in folders. Our platform keeps those records safe, and we support our ecosystem also. Listo Care has implemented the COVID test as a default in our patient's form. So it's required for doctors to do the COVID test to all their patients, and that also provides the correct information of their diagnosis to that patient. 13, right there. And I'm gonna start showing the website that we created. So this is Listo Care. This is how it's gonna look in a laptop. This is the registration. So the doctor just starts registering right there. And then when they want to log in, I created an actual. So when I log in, I go directly to the registration. I can see the form for registering the doctor or any practitioner. I can see the patient form as well, the treatment process. I can select my patient from here, depending on how many I had, and then just follow the structure of everything that that is in the form. And as well with the diagnostic, I can see my patient and see how many treatments that person, is following up. And then, I log out and I go back to it. But we're gonna keep growing this platform.
I'm trying to add more features to it, definitely. But for now, I think that this is something that can already help a lot of medics and medical staff to fight this invisible enemy, which is the coronavirus. And that's pretty much it, right? Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys. So now we're going to be opening it up to audience questions. If anyone has any questions on any of the projects, you're more than welcome to ask now. If not, we could just go ahead and close out early. I usually have someone asking questions.
No, I do.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I do wanted to say that I wanted to.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I forgot Alejandro wanted to speak. I've been listening to you guys for so long. I know Alejandro wanted to say a couple of words to you guys.
Yeah, no, I wanted to congratulate everyone because I know that it's been a lot of effort. You guys have been putting a lot of hours, not only throughout the course, but especially during the past days and the past couple of weeks. And I think you guys did a pretty good job in in trying to use all the tools that we teach at the academy. If not all of them, I think most of the grades used everything we were teaching at the academy, and you did put all the hours. And in general, I think this cohort in general had I think it was the first one that we had almost no drops out. Like, and with COVID in the scene is even more amazing. So, and I wanted to congratulate everyone for all the effort, and to remind you that now that we are in this phase of the course is over, we're going to start in the next phase that basically is following up on our skills and starting to grow on the professional profile, resume, GitHub, and everything, so that we can start looking for opportunities. I know that probably you guys don't feel confident enough because we still need to practice a little bit more, but you're never going to feel confident enough, and that's one of the things that happens when coding. Like, the only way to really feel confident enough is to start working at the company, and you will realize that the other developers are as insecure as you, basically, because that's how it works in coding for the first couple of years, until you finally start mastering something and you get bored and you start specializing in something more, I guess. But it will always be challenging, and you will always feel less confident than what you should. That's also a message for the incoming students that I see on the chat and in the event. That's something that I guess will never go away until you're a senior. So I want to encourage you guys to keep going, even if you think that you don't know much. You may know a lot more than what you think. So for these next weeks, we're going to do that. We're going to follow up on your skills, practice for interviewing, polishing your profile, and it's going to be a lot of weekly or bi-weekly follow-ups. I mean, the rhythm or the pace is going to be less, but it's still going to be there, and we're still going to be here. Not only after you get the job, but also we'll help you keep at that job or in the next one that you may want. So there's no clap button, but if we should all do clap for each other and congratulate everyone. It's more like a mute clap.
I would like to add something if I'm allowed to.
Sure.
Yeah, go.
No, I object. Just kidding.
Personally, and also I know that from Luana as well, I just wanted to thank 4Geeks. Its teachers and mentors are incredible and very passionate, and I can tell you without a doubt that they won't stop until they help you understand all your doubts, and they also put a lot of extra miles. And I know that it's not only with me and with Luana, but also with my other classmates. So thank you, Alejandro. Thank you, Ernesto. Thank you, George and Paolo. And thank you, everybody who also helped me and helped us.
Yes. Same goes for me. I know that I don't have my webcam, but I just want to thank the 4Geeks Academy for everything. I am so thankful, mostly because, guys, I've been in a very difficult time, but so far I have been able to, I feel like I have been able to succeed so much, and this has been so challenging for me. I don't have a background in coding, and I can't believe that I did this. So this is amazing. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. If anyone else has any more questions they want to ask or anything they'd like to say, you're more than welcome to.
Oh, I would like to say something, and Luis, you are not allowed to object back. I objected first, okay? Now, as I said in our opening slide, my objective is to go like for big data, and what I need really is to analyze large, like huge data sets. And so what I have to say is that, Ale, I'm coming. Thank you.
I just want to also say congratulations to all of you. You guys did such a good job. Really good, actually. I love the way you presented yourselves. I haven't seen that done before, so I love seeing new and improving presentations. So congratulations, you guys are awesome. Don't forget to send me your resumes. I need you guys to send me your resumes so I can get you guys hired. But yeah, congratulations.
Okay, then go and have a beer or have a
Yeah, and
drink.
also have a great
Coke.
weekend. Have a beer, go drink, go celebrate. Have
Go
a good
celebrate.
evening, everyone. Oh, and yeah, wear your mask.
Well, Alejandro, that's for you to see things a little bit prettier.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, everyone.
All right, take care.
Bye, everybody.
Everyone, good job again, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye.